Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I can't sleep, and I really don't want to wake up in like 5 hours, 6 hours, or like 5 hours to do a video and then go back to sleep and take a nap and do whatever. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't really sleep, and I'd like to just sleep until about 20 minutes before, well, 30 minutes before I need to go to work so I can eat. So, this, uh, this is my bounty, okay? I went where no man dared to go because they fear me. Um, well, they fear, everything. So it's an LG 144 hertz monitor, HyperX, like, mouse or mic. I'm exhausted. I had 3 hours of sleep, but I can't put myself to sleep because I feel like I need to do a bunch of stuff. But it's definitely bedtime. So, it's an Alienware 27-inch monitor, I guess. It's like super duper nice, 240 hertz. Ugh. Yeah, smoking all day is not very helpful. And then this is like my Omega PC. It's not on. It's keyboard too. Actually like heavy and just like it's super nice. Everything that I got is insanely nice and so much nicer than anything I own. This mouse apparently sucks huge D, HyperX wireless mouse, but I'm using a Logitech mouse that's now 5 years old. So um yeah, this is it. I mean. I don't know a lot about PCs or anything, but it's a Lee case. That's a 6700 XT. That's a 5900X. Water cooled and everything. Like it's pretty gross and insane. Let me set myself up. Uh, yeah. This is again, I couldn't sleep because I feel like I need to do so many different things right now. Like right now, I feel like, oh, you need to get internet hooked up. Oh, you need to buy that Secret Labs chair for like 120 bucks or 150 bucks so that you don't, because my back is always hurting, and I don't just spend the 150 bucks. So my back maybe doesn't hurt. Um, and I just want to go buy a folding table from probably Lowe's or something for like 70 bucks. And I also need a different mouse pad because the only one I have is small, and the big one that I have is all bent and stuff. So it's kind of a problem. I need a new mouse pad. Mine is again just 5 years old. It's warped and ghetto and gross. So I'm just gonna buy a brand new one at Best Buy or whatever. But again, it's like I don't know, and I need to get the internet hooked up. It's like I feel like I need to do 90 different things, and I can't, sleep, which is also like kind of a problem for me. Like it doesn't matter how much of my medication or anything I use, like unless I were to eat like edibles or something, like I'm not gonna get put to sleep. Like the only way I go to sleep is if I'm like, are we done now? Alright, we're going to sleep. Um, yeah, but dude, it's unbelievable. Like I'm so, uh, I guess this is what happiness feels like in a way or whatever, or just being content with something. We'll just start reading from the book. There's so much stuff that happened today that it's definitely cut into 2 days. Um, I think this will be like a 30-minute thing. I'm just going to upload while I go to sleep 'cause again, I don't want to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning and then shoot a thing and then try and take a nap and what. I just want to sleep till 2 p.m., wake up, roll in, go to work, and get this money. You know what I mean? Alright, so 2 hours each way. It was only 80 miles, but yeah, it was 2 hours each way, which is awesome because I live in the mountains. It was actually a big day. Was so exhausted. I spent $4 just on energy drinks. Uh, Off and on all day, feeling like I was gonna have panic attacks and like heart flutters because of the monster. And I hate driving in a big city, just full of people. And yeah, I put bold effing outline. I hate driving in the big city. Hate it so much. Had to go to the bank in the big city. It was 10 minutes away, but only like 1 mile, 1.5 miles from the guy's house. But I had to go there twice. I love one-way streets and parallel parking. And and whatever. I may have hypothetically not paid the meter twice and did a U-turn where you can't U-turn and left turn a blind right-hand only turn. You know what I mean? The drive there saved me 20 miles. Um, but because I'm always worried about my car and everything, I'm it was up and down mountains and I was just worried the whole time. So on the way home, I drove 30 miles further and I just took the nice flat highway the entire way home, which wouldn't have been so bad, but I was so tired because I only had 3 hours sleep last night. Because again, I have a real hard time putting myself to sleep. Like I'm so exhausted when I get off work, I get home, and I'm just like I feel tired for like maybe a half hour, 30 minutes, or like an hour, and then if I go past that, it's like all right, I'm just ready to go. So it kind of sucks. Like right now, like I stay up all night. The only reason I wouldn't want to stay up all night is because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I'm so exhausted as it is. So I'd just be compounding a thing. I'm sure after I finish this, I'll feel some level of completeness, and I'll just pass out and go to sleep. Um, yeah, I kind of felt like I was like falling asleep a little bit on the drive home, like, 'cause driving on the highway is so boring and just so tedious. Like when I got off the highway and I drove the last 30 minutes like on back roads, I was chill because it's like lots of bank turns and like I'm watching out for Amish people and stuff. But on the highway, I'm just like, so boring. So like, yeah, I was kind of like lightly falling asleep. I was uncomfortably tired. Like I don't like to. I pretty much never drive when I'm tired or anything, and it's almost impossible for me to fall asleep. You know what I mean? While I'm driving. But yeah, it's just the highway's so boring. Just sitting there in cruise control. There were three different accidents. Yeah, Dodge three accidents. Other people's fault, like people swerving into my lane or just doing like goofy stuff, slamming on their brakes on the highway. But you wouldn't know it. All my sim driving and stuff, like I'm actually a very good defensive driver. I'm actually better at aggressive driving. Like that's not good or anything, but the no hezzy. I've done the no hezzy in real life, which you should never do. I used to give my grandpa panic attacks. You only had 2 inches when you passed that guy. I used to get real upset on the drives, from state to state. So sometimes I'd just be doing like, I'd theoretically, well, it's past it. I'd be doing 100 miles an hour, just passing people by like inches or feet, just 'cause I just get so frustrated. I hate getting lost. That's a big thing. I just am a very angry person. Uh, yeah, but I'm just really good at driving, thankfully. So I have not had any accidents. I have a perfect driving record. Um, yeah, IRL, my IRL like racing days are behind me. I don't really do that. I just drive like old man. That's another reason I like four-door sedans. It's like, just like old man car. It's pretty chill. Um, but to get to the guy's house, but I get to the guy's house and he speaks like great English, even though his like translation on Facebook Marketplace was bad. So I'm guessing he just didn't read English very well or something. So he's translating. But nice guy. Literal downtown like skyscrapers and stuff. Like you could see them from the dude's house. They're like townhouses. Tons of people walking, commuting back and forth. Um, Driving a few blocks is like, mix upscale residential to where I got to his spot. It was all street parking when I had to go to the bank and when I had to go to his house. But thankfully, I have like nice, easy parking where I didn't have to like back into a spot, back out of a spot. 'Cause like, I hate that. I'm always so anxious I'm gonna hit somebody. Um, yeah, I hate parallel parking or parking near people at all because I always park at the end of a parking lot because it's just easier. And I've had enough disrespectful people like slam their door into me and they get mad when I like yell at them for hitting my door like, "Hey yo, like what's wrong with you?" And they're like, "I didn't do that." It's like, "You damn sure did hit my door with your door real hard." Like, no. It's like, yeah. So you just can't win because then they just make you feel like you're the bad person. It's like, but definitely not. Yeah, I prefer to just park at the end of the parking lot. I'm not lazy. That's not a thing. Man's not lazy. I wrote this on the side. Let's see. I think I'm gonna spend $120 on a chair if I can. Like if it's an Evo one, 120, 150 bucks if the guy will sell it to me. It'd be like 125 bucks less than what he wants, but we'll see. Um, Need a brand new mouse pad. Like I said, I'll just buy brand new. Like I'm not gonna buy a used mouse pad. Like I've learned that they warp if you like do anything goofy to them. Um, the guy was super nice. He's moving back to New York because Columbus just wasn't really working out, I guess. His Steam Deck was just sitting on the table, and then he showed me his Doctor Disrespect book, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I love the doc. It's a shame what they did to him." You know what I mean? Now that he's on YouTube, and it's kind of like a weird thing when it shouldn't be a weird thing, because he's a great man and he's the doc. I don't know. He didn't do anything wrong as far as I know, other than cheat on his wife, which is terrible. But I mean, it's like that's like a private thing in a lot of ways. So it's like can't burn a man at the stake. But the whole thing was just about money. I think we all know that Twitch just didn't want to pay him. Let's see. We were both like super anxious. His wife was in a meeting, and their like really nice, shy rescue dog was just barking at me like the whole time. She was just like real skittish, and then like if I moved, she'd bark at me. Other than that, she was pretty chill. He was like, "You can test whatever." I loaded into Modern Warfare. Like I walked into this room, like just insane house, as you can imagine. I didn't mention that I was homeless. I didn't say that. I'm glad I didn't say that because the payment thing didn't really work out. I hate skipping around in the book, but the Zelle did not work out. It would not let me do it. I showed him, I'm like, "Hey, yo, I got the money," and I showed him like it was giving me errors. So I had to run back to the bank, get another $500 in cash. But, I'm pretty good at disarming people, so by the time like I was showing him like, "Hey, yo, I got the money," like it's not working, like you know what I mean? Like I wanted the computer, you know what I mean? And again, I had kind of broken the ice and everything was a little chiller. And he was cool to just take cash. He didn't even want to see my receipts from the bank. I'm like, "Hey, yo, I got two separate receipts from the bank." Like, you know what I mean? Different thing. He's like, he didn't want to see it because I just gave him crispy $100 bills. But again, I think I was pretty good disarming. He didn't think I was, or whatever. And I didn't go with the I'm homeless thing because again, sometimes you can play that trap card and sometimes you can play that trap card and it might just like bite you in the a-hole. So yeah, be careful with that one. Yeah, be careful with your trap cards. You know what I mean? You only get like so many of them. All right, now that I've jumped around the book, um, let's see. Uh, oh yeah, I just hopped into Modern Warfare. Like I just loaded into Modern Warfare. Seemed like I'm just like breaking over 200 FPS, and it's not on low. And I'm pretty sure I was in 1440. Like yeah, it worked. Popped Task Manager on to see, everything that was what was supposed to be was what it was supposed to be, and it was. Like probably took me 5 minutes of testing. You know what I mean? Including like loading into the game just to see. Because again, I just want to load into the game. I know what I'm looking for. Know what I'm feeling for. I hopped in the game. It felt like absolute butter. The thing saying, over 200 FPS, everything feels like money. Like, yeah, playing on that monitor, like, in just a giant room in a giant like house. Yeah, but I just loaded in, and he's like, I was in a rush because I knew I needed to get back, home because woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, drove 2 hours there. It was then like 9:30 or something. By the time I had gotten there to the guy, it was like 10, and then by the time after got the money and everything sorted out, I didn't get out until like 11, and then I drive home for 2 hours. So it's pretty tight on time, and I was pretty sure I was gonna be tight on time, so I didn't want to play around or mess around. Like I just wanted to see like this is real, this isn't a scam. It's got all its parts and pieces. You know what I mean? It's what it's supposed to be. And he's like, you can test any game you want. I'm like, nah, it's good. Like let's see, I wrote down right here. I was like, he's like, yeah, you can test as much as you want. I'm like, no, I'm good, brother. I was like, number one, I was like, this is real. Like you know what I mean? Like this is real. All the parts and pieces are real. I know I know what a lot of these are and what they cost because I had checked it out beforehand or had like a rough idea. And I was like, number two, it's like, it's better than I had expected. You know what I mean? Like, this headset's wireless. It's a $200 headset. Like, uh, I didn't even know this was a 144 hertz monitor. Like, yeah. It's just, yeah, I thought it was a 5700X, and it's 5900X. It's a bunch of things where it's just like, it was better than I expected it to be. So I was super happy to pay the dude. Um, yeah, I stopped at the bank like 20 minutes before I got there, and then like 15 minutes after I got there, 20 minutes after I got there, I had to just dip out and go back to the bank. And yeah, he was like, you get cash. He was trying to see if I could find different ways to pay him, and he tried to request money from me on Zelle. Cause at first I tried to send it, and then he tried to request it. And neither one of them worked. And I was just like, I just really want to like pay you and roll out the house. And I was in such like I just wanted to get it done and get it handled. Like I had taken my jacket off because it was hot, and I just left it in the house. And then I left my Xbox bag because we were filling it up with cords and anything else that I might need, throwing it in there. Yeah. So and then I just took off uh to the bank because I was like I got to get this done as soon as possible. So I just took off back through downtown, which I hated. Uh, I hypothetically busted a couple of illegal maneuvers, which I had already been doing because again I hate driving downtown and it's like, bro, I live in the country. Don't pull me over. Don't bother me. Don't waste my time. You ain't gonna like my response. That's one thing that kind of works sometimes. Like if the police ever were to bother you, harass you, just act like it's a total waste of your time. Like why are you bothering me? Now that won't always work. Sometimes that might bite you in the butt, but it has worked a couple times for me. It has not fired, backfired. I'm so tired of just jumping around. Um, yeah, so I had to run, get the money, got the cash, came inside, just counted. He already had everything like ready to go. Um, he was not super stoked on how everything was loaded into my car because I kind of just like threw this in the back seat, laid this flat in the back seat, and then I didn't have anywhere to put this, so we kind of just threw it in my front seat on top of a jacket. So again, he looked kind of like not stoked about it, but I owned the thing and it was my thing. I buckled this in, obviously, you know what I mean? This is a serious unit. Like you buckle that in the seatbelt. Alright. My girl had a seatbelt. Yeah. Alright. Um, I just wrote down the price for some of the stuff that I looked up on this. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, Saturday's mandated at work. I signed up anyway. Sometimes I hop around. I just write like a small point with an arrow because I forget to write something, and I'm like, well, I gotta put it in there somewhere. He was missing like the mount for this monitor, like the stand itself. Like I got the Alienware monitor because that's like super proprietary, and I'd never be able to get that. But they both have wall mounts attached to them, even though I was like, I don't really need them. But I knew this was probably gonna go on a rig at some point, even though the Asus monitor might go on the rig instead. I don't really know. Because I think the Asus monitor is the crappier one, to be honest, than this like random monitor that I know nothing about other than it's 144 hertz, and I assume he bought it brand new. All right, but I gotta move forward. I don't care how long this ends up being, because I'm gonna go to sleep and it'll do stuff while I'm asleep, so it'll be fine. But this LG 144 hertz monitor, $200. Alienware, 27 inch, which is massive, which is great because I have old man eyes and my prescription is very out of date. So 27-inch Alienware monitor, 240 hertz. I couldn't even really find these like $500 or $1,000. Couldn't even really find these. I don't know why. I think maybe because they only make the 360 now hertz. I'm not sure. Ryzen 9 5900X. It's $350 new. AMD 6700 XT. They're 350 bucks new. The Lian Li case. Um, at the time when he got it, it was hard to find, so I don't even want to know what he paid for it at the time. But you can buy them now if they're in stock, which I'm not super sure on. But 200 bucks. HyperX headset. I wrote down 100 bucks, but then when I looked it up, this is actually like the Cloud Alpha BS. It's like 170 or something. Yeah. Let's see. The mouse is like 100 bucks, but again, it's supposed to be crap. I'm just gonna use it or whatever. I don't really care. My mouse kind of sucks, and save money where I can. The mouse isn't as big of a deal as the mouse pad. I feel like my mouse pad's literally like dog water. So, keyboard. Again, this keyboard it's like metal. It's like mad heavy, and it's clicky, but it's not as crappy and clicky as my 5-year-old Razer keyboard. Like that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. I don't buy anything for myself, so like you might look at my stuff and be like, you have things, but I don't really buy anything for myself. So like when I have nice like new things that aren't cheap, I'm like, that's nice. Yeah. Everything other than the headset, because I do have a nice headset, but I probably will use this headset because it's wireless, and it's brand new. Um, Everything else is like nicer than just anything I own, obviously. Oh yeah, and then this thing, which I didn't really know, it's like 40 bucks, HyperX like external mic, which I'm pretty sure that he has the mic piece for this and it's in that bag and he gave it to me. But eh, that doesn't really matter to me. Like that's probably gonna work great. Like I have everything I need. Like this is like $3,000 worth of PC parts. Like I wrote down in this book somewhere, but he went to Micro Center and he's like Micro Center in New York kind of like it sucks. It's small. He went to Micro Center in Columbus and bought out, bought whatever he wanted, and whatever he couldn't find at Micro Center, he just ordered online. He just bought it. Like he bought the case online. He bought whatever he needed or wanted online. I don't think price was really a thing when he bought it. Like I wrote down in there wherever this point is in this book. Price tags are for poor people. Um, everything I have is everything here is like nicer than what I have, except for maybe I did have a new Logitech Shroud headset, but to be honest, uh, Logitech or Shroud's headset is trash if you don't have like a mix amp. The quality or the audio volume is so bad, so bad. Even if you adjust it and play with it, it's so bad. Not a $200 headset. I get to try a wireless mouse, and also an ultralight mouse at the same time, which is this doesn't it's air to me because I use a weighted Logitech mouse. This is my yeah. And I'll try a wireless mouse at the same time, so it's gonna be kind of weird. It kind of sucks. This is like crappy. If I had a choice in the matter, it would have been like a Logitech Super uh, G Pro Superlight, but I don't have choices and things. Well, I mean, kind of do, but you know what I mean. All right, I gotta try and somehow wrap this up and put myself to bed at some point. He said it was his first personal build. He did he did some others. They were in the closet. He had like a massive tower. I don't know. He's like, oh yeah, it's like a special tower. It's very hard to get. Uh, but it was like massive. And he's like, there was no point in putting, this in that. And he's like, so I got that case. I'm like, and then I was like, it's a Leanne case, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Uh, uh. Oh, you can't see it, but just like the literal touch, the cables. Um, the cable choice, like this thing lights up you know what I mean? But the cable choice, is purple. He picked purple cables, and I wrote down this man built this computer 4 months ago with the best parts he could find, or you know what I mean? And then he didn't even know at the time he was building the computer for me. Almost living in my car with no hope, completely depressed, and then, you know, building me a computer. So yeah, I don't know. Purple's my color. I was like super stoked on it. Um, yeah. I think it's kind of insane. And my pen died. I've killed a pen finally, writing this book. I kept complimenting his build. I was like, it's super nice. I was like, it's not like it's looks like, the Harry Potter castle on it's $20,000 for the case or something. But like this is when you see it lit up, like I'm not gonna say understated because it's not the word for it, but it's not like overdone. It's just all super nice parts. It's pretty much exactly what I would have wrote or what I would have, made if I had the choice in the matter. Uh, this is why I'm not supposed to jump around. Oh yeah, and I wrote down I'm future proof, which is a dumb term. I hate that term, but like I have like the best CPU you can get, and like basically the best GPU that you can get, because I don't really count the 7000 series or the 4090s or the 4000 series as like a real thing. Because the 4000 series is that goofy power thing, and they catch on fire. So I'm not in there. And they're also expensive. Even the 7000 series, it's like, I don't even count those as real cars yet. We're still the 3000 series and the 6000 series are like top of the line cards to me. Um, it is ready for a 4090 because it's a 1300 watt power supply, and he wanted to be sure to let me know that, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Totally not gonna do that. Um, let's see. This part I thought was kind of funny. There are two extra screws to this. One of them was for this glass panel, which it was just it was held on, thankfully, and it didn't fall off at any point. But this screw was just sitting in here, down there, because maybe he thought I wanted to pull it out or something, or take the case off to look at the parts, but I didn't. So that survived, and I just screwed it back in. There's another screw in the bottom somewhere. Not exactly sure what it looks like or where it is, but I wrote down, I'm willing to work on my Toyota, which is my Optiplex. Like I'm willing to, take the graphics card out, poke around. If it was to break, I'd be like, that sucks, and then I just move on. Like God sucks. But I'm not about to take the engine out of my Ferrari. There's like a HD audio cable that I see in there that's not fully seated behind the graphics card. But I put it like this, I'm like, I'm not gonna take apart like my brand new McLaren to just see if one of the nuts is like or one of the bolts needs to be slightly tight. I'm not like, you know what I mean? So that's not happening. I'm not taking this apart for like a year or two unless something goes wrong. You know what I mean? This is like this is my McLaren. It's the fastest car, it's one of the fastest cars in the world. It's insane. You don't need to do anything to it. You don't need to touch it. It turns on and it works or it doesn't. And then you investigate why it doesn't work. He wiped everything. It's got a fresh just Windows install. He gave me a USB with a fresh Windows install too. Windows Pro, like I say, it's just if I had internet, I could hop on any game right now and literally smash any Timmy at 4 times their frame rate. It's yeah, like playing at 60 FPS or even like 70 or 80 FPS or like with low frame drops, like nah, son. I'm gonna be playing at an insane frame rate. I'm gonna have other than internet and maybe like, my mechanical advantage because I'm not very practiced up or whatever, I have every advantage possible. I came to the fight with, you know, huge bodyguards. Like, I don't know. Trying to see if there's anything even worth like covering in here that really matters. I wrote, I'm decently happy. I mean, I guess I seem cheerful or whatever. I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little off because I probably hit my pen like 50, 60 times today. I've done 2 monsters. I had 3 hours sleep. I busted out 8 hours at the carpet. I mean, I busted out 8 hours at the factory, just throwing heavy stuff. Like, I'm exhausted. But I can't go to sleep because I have a hard time switching off. So, I'm gonna do this now because if I don't, then I'm just gonna continue on getting crappy sleep. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, I wrote down I'm decently happy or at least content. Like, I wrote down somewhere in here too. I traded Monopoly money as far as I'm concerned, like lettuce as far as I'm concerned, for just something awesome that the same amount of money. Like I couldn't get this if I had $1,500 or whatever. I couldn't just go out and be like, oh, let me get this. Yeah, exactly what I would have built if I could have built it. Like super nice parts and the AMD. The thing is too, is a lot of people are like, I like the 3000 series. I never really cared too much like it didn't really matter to me. The main thing with AMD is I just know that they're really good about supporting their products, and their products usually get better, like even if they start out maybe a little below Nvidia or Intel, they usually come back strong. Like they usually come back as strong or sometimes even stronger depending on what load you're putting on them. So I wanted an AMD GPU with CPU. So it's literally exactly what I would have built. Like it's just I don't know. It's insane. Um, um, oh yeah, and lastly, we'll just wrap this up. I don't know how long it's been, it doesn't really matter. I've jumped around so much that it doesn't matter anyway. And I wrote down, and lastly, I have a ghost Facebook account. What I mean by that, it's like, my name is Dirty Dan. It's not actually Dirty Dan, but it might as well be Dirty Dan. And I have the stock profile picture, which has never been changed, and the profile's never posted anything. It's used just for playing games on my phone because I need an account for something. So the fact that no posts, no nothing, the fact that anyone would meet with me at all is a little crazy, right? But he said, this has been up for over a week, right? Absolute insanity. He said he had tons of people messaging him and wanting to meet, somewhere public, obviously. Like I wanted the police station or Walmart. But for a week now, and not a single person was dumb enough or had the balls to go, to downtown Columbus and see if this was real or if they were gonna get robbed. But I did, because I don't know, I have nothing better to do, and I really wanted it. I was kind of surprised it was real. It was like, I was like, man, that'd be a really elaborate scam. Like, especially because I haven't given him any deposit. It'd be so elaborate and annoying of a scam because it's such a far drive. Yeah, that's insane. Um, yeah, just nobody would meet with him. Nobody wanted to, and then I just wrote, can't stop, won't stop. You know what I mean? Like, can't stop, won't stop. And then I wrote a bunch more stuff in the book, but that's where we're gonna end it because I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's probably 30 minutes because I just ramble and ramble and ramble, and I'm talking so slow because I'm exhausted. But yeah, this is my insane computer. I have no internet. I have no furniture. Um, I don't even have a real chair to use. But you can bet that I could smash pretty much any. I just really want to play. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna try and be patient and see when I get the internet hooked up. Um, I have vacation time. I'm not gonna be able to take it for my grandpa's birthday. It sucks. It is what it is. It's not my fault. It's the lady's fault. So I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna take a 2-day vacation at some point. So I'll have a 3 days off, including Sunday, and I'll just kick it at the house. I've never had like actual vacation where I just had something I could do or free time. Yeah. So I'll probably just do that, and then hopefully I have internet and stuff, and I can just like bust this out. I have to obviously set this up and probably do like an entire day's worth of stuff just to try and get it to work. And I don't really want to put this on my crappy table, so I'm gonna buy another table too. I think between a chair, if I can get the chair I want, which will be like 125 or 150 bucks. If I can get that one, if not, I'm only gonna spend like 30 or 50 bucks on one. And then like 70 bucks on a fold-out plastic table, because I gotta be able to fit it in my car, obviously. And then just a new mouse pad. I have a small mouse pad, but I would always play at a decently low DPI because I had a huge square mouse pad, so it was like, you know what I mean? And the only one I had, like, I still have that one, but it's all wavy and screwed up. So I just have like a small Steel Series one that I found for like a couple bucks. Just like, bah. I'm a lot more arm than I am wrist. Alright, well, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna let this upload. I'm gonna go sleep. If you for some reason watch all this, that's amazing. You deserve a pat on the back, and I appreciate you. I don't know exactly when this will be hooked up. I have no idea. I have like $3,000 worth of computer stuff just sitting in my crack house apartment, and I can't wait to use it. But I don't know. I also don't know when I'm gonna set up internet, so who knows when I'll use it. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Uh, have a good day. It's nighttime for me, so maybe during the daytime it'll be nicer. It's actually very windy and cold, so it actually sucks right now. But yeah, see you guys.